Good morning. Welcome to the Cohn phone, special midweek version of the Cohn phone. Hold on. I didn't wait a second. I didn't put just a second. I got to put my microphone in. I didn't do it right. I didn't set up correctly. Hold on. Cuz I want this to sound good. Audio, boom. Yes. All right, do I sound better now? How do I sound? Can you hear me? Do I sound better? All right, I want to talk Cohn phone, I'm going to take your calls for the next hour and a half or so. But what I want to do first is tell you what's on my mind. So I'm going to ask you what you thought of the Niners comments at the owners' meetings because they just happened. But I want to tell you what I think first because that's how I do. We're good? Audio sounds good? Sorry, I'm like really discombobulated today. Just making sure. All right, here we go. Fresh polo, my guy. You know how we do. We're just repping that sports illy. You feel me? All right. First of all, you guys mad at my new writer? Man, would you just let the dude say what he wants to say? If he's wrong, you guys can dunk on him all year, forever. I respect a dude making himself public enemy number one, putting himself out there and being just flamed all week. Like, he knew no one was going to like his article. He put himself, we'll see. I don't agree with him. He has more expertise than me. He's probably going to be wrong. But if he's not, I mean, I respect it. Let's give him a chance. It's not like he's mincing his words or anything. You can't accuse me of having an echo chamber. You guys are tripping. All right, let's talk about what I thought of what the Niners said. Okay. A lot of big news came out of owners' meeting. A lot of people were focused on what Kyle Shanahan said about Trey Lance, right? Everyone was focused on what Kyle Shanahan said about Trey Lance. Does he like Trey Lance? Does he believe in Trey Lance? Is Trey Lance a starter? Yeah, that's very important too. But one thing Kyle said about Jimmy Garoppolo that stuck with me. Kyle says he doesn't talk to Jimmy Garoppolo during the offseason. Jimmy doesn't communicate with Kyle during the offseason. Excuse me, what? And this is like, this is what I've been trying to tell you about Jimmy Garoppolo. I didn't know that it went that deep. Doesn't communicate with his head coach during the offseason? As in Kyle Shanahan would call Jimmy, text Jimmy, and Jimmy wouldn't get back to him? How professional is Jimmy Garoppolo really? How professional is Jimmy Garoppolo really? Everyone says he's a great he is the most professional quarterback. Really? He treats the job like it's a part-time job. Like from February to July, he's just free to do whatever. Doesn't even have to text the head coach back. What a joke. Imagine if Trey Lance were like that. If Trey Lance approached it as a 6-month-a-year job, people would say the meanest things about him. But he doesn't do that. He does everything right, and he misses a couple of throws in training camp, and people say he's not ready. Jimmy Garoppolo straight up ghosts the coach for 6 months of the year. And everyone's like, that's my kind of quarterback. That is not a pro. The Niners have given him $110 million, and he can't text Kyle back during the offseason. That's a joke. If someone gave me $110 million, I would text him back within 1 minute. If I got a text, he could bank on him getting one back from me in 60 seconds. $110 million? Yeah, I'll text you back. But no, Jimmy's like, dude, it's the offseason. Leave me alone. Like, what? Goodbye. So that's a very interesting nugget to me. Can't even get, and the players have said that about him all the time, even during the season, that they cannot get Jimmy Garoppolo to text them back. He's like, dude, we just work together. Leave me the hell alone. I'm not trying to bring my work home with me. Dude, that's not good enough. So that's what all you need to know about Jimmy Garoppolo. He doesn't love the job. He's not 100% serious about the job. I don't know what he loves, but he does it half the year. So all of this is to say that the Niners should have freaking got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo last year. If they knew this about him, that he's a part-time quarterback, that he plays 6 months a year, you know he's not going to get better. He's never going to improve playing 6 months a year. And you gave him $100 million. He's all of a sudden going to start working harder. He's going to work smarter, work less. So you should have traded him last year. You held on to him. You reportedly could have gotten a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo last year. a second-round pick, coming off an injury, but you held on to him because you were greedy and you lied to yourself and you said, we can get more for him next year. Well, that didn't work out. The whole reason to bring Jimmy Garoppolo back was either one of two things: win the Super Bowl or increase the trade value from a second-round pick to a first-round pick. You accomplished neither. All you accomplished was setting back Trey Lance's development. He could have had more than 10 quarters of playing experience right now, and everyone would feel much more confident about this season. But no, they went with Jimmy last year. Jimmy, who doesn't do anything during the offseason, who just rolls out of bed on July 25th and says, let's play football. Should have traded him last year. Could have got a second-round pick. Got greedy. Thought you'd get more. Didn't get more. Now he's still on the team while and not returning text messages. So even if Trey Lance isn't ready or isn't great, what's the point of having Jimmy? He's not going to improve. We don't even know what he does in the offseason. He could be a banker. He could be a real estate agent. He could be helping someone get the right deal on their house right now. I'm looking for, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo is going to sell me a house in 2 months. Oh, damn. What's up, Jimmy? Hey, what's up, Grant? What are you up to? Oh, yes, I flip houses in the offseason. Word. I had no idea. Yeah, the Niners only gave me $110 million. I like having a side hustle. No one knows what Jimmy Garoppolo does. Lagging? Is it really lagging? That sucks. Is it because of this? Yeah, lagging. All right, here. Why don't I start over? Right, I'll start over. This was a wasted attempt. Sorry. I'll try again. I'll do the Cohn phone. I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. Oh well. I'm back. Is it good now? It's supposed to be. It says on my internet's fine. My internet. Hold on. Let me do a speed test real quick before I quit. It's okay now? Speed seems to be pretty good. Yep, speed's out of this world. I don't know. You'd like to be a member? I think you just go to the front page of my YouTube thing and click member. I want to say I hear nobody talk about Trey's game against the Seahawks. He played decent in the game, actually made the game interesting. Yeah, I agree. What's interesting about the Danny Kelly on my side, what he said, I don't agree with his conclusions. And I think a big thing what he's doing, which I try to tell my writers not to get stuck in, is he put himself out there before the draft and said Trey Lance is going to be a bust. And so now he's in the mode of proving himself right. I've been there. But people hate you for that. Like people like you when you say I was wrong about something, not when they say I'm right. So I try to make him, like with this article, you don't want to just be saying I was right. You actually want to be unbiased here and have a fresh set of eyes with him. And what was interesting about what he said is he really struggled on the intermediate passes early, that Kyle really only trusted him to run and throw short passes. But in that Houston game, he was 9 of 14 on the intermediate passes. That's a very important improvement. He said he was poor on the deep throws, 2 of 6. That's a small sample size. And, people nitpick the deep throws, the 2 to Debo that were underthrown. I'll take that over with whatever the hell Jimmy Garoppolo does on deep throws. Look, Danny Kelly is evaluating him independent of Jimmy, which is interesting. I haven't done that yet. I've just been evaluating Trey as in comparison to Jimmy, and to me, it's no question he's better than Jimmy. That's a different issue, though. Anyway, I'm encouraged. If he's improving on the intermediate stuff, I do think he's going to be a good deep thrower. Other thing Danny Kelly pointed out is that he gets a lot of his passes knocked down, and he thinks that over a larger sample size, that'll lead to turnovers. I disagree. Kaepernick got a lot of his throws knocked down, but he threw so hard that offensive players had tough time catching it, let alone defensive players. I think the same thing's going to happen with Trey. He throws so hard that he's going to have some of his passes knocked down, but very few intercepted. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, we'll see. Jacob says, oh, yeah, we got you. He did make that game interesting. Dude says Daniel Kelly is an idiot. Maybe. We'll see. I don't agree with him. But again, I respect a dude who was like willing to be like, oh, this fan base doesn't want me to say this. I'll say it. Oh, okay. Well, you're public enemy number one. Good luck. Jimmy works PT at Target selling goat fuel. Dude, yo, how did Jimmy get a freaking endorsement with Subway? Like, dude, don't you know he's gonna be a free agent soon? Kelly loves Jimmy Insights and Tangibles. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Hey, man, I just want to say that everyone says that, oh, Grant only promotes people that agree with him. You can't say that. I don't agree with Daniel at all, but I promote different ideas. Anyway, just saying. All right, let's move on. Let's take some calls. Paste. Go. What's up, Nathan Dickey? So the link is in the description now, and it's in the chat box. Always first in line, man. What's up, Korean 49er? How you doing?
I'm good, Grant. How are you doing? It's lunchtime here outside Chicago, so.
Oh, good to see you. I mean, it's breakfast time here. Just getting my day started.
So it's all good, Grant. My first point from the owners meeting is it's more of the usual with injuries in this franchise. To me, how could we not know that D Ford was going to make a bunch of money and play only a handful of games? Bless him for it. I mean, but didn't someone actually give him a thorough medical exam before they went through with the trade just to make sure, hey, we can at least get something more than one season's worth of games and a few sacks out of him?
I know, right? You would think.
Yeah.
Word was out. He had this back injury since college.
Yeah. I have a buddy at my job who's an Auburn alum. He said D Ford loved him as a player, but I was always worried about him playing because he had that real weird back injury that no one could ever diagnose.
Yeah.
So, second point is I've been with Bay Area baller Eric since last year on the Jimmy has no trade value.
True.
To me, I don't. When you say he's a part-time quarterback getting paid 110 million, that kind of makes sense because you see Tom Brady always doing something to try and improve himself from his rookie season all the way through whatever season this is going to be. I mean, Tom's always working on his mechanics, making sure his angles are correct. He's watching film, keeping his body in good shape, doing all those kind of things to, keep him at a very high level.
Jimmy goes off the grid. How? So what does he do?
I mean, I understand if you're telling a guy you're going on a week's vacation, let's say Mexico, and you kind of getting away. I get it. That's cool. I can understand that you need some time away, but you at least need to be contacted once every few weeks at least, or I don't know what the routine contact period is, but
I got a story for you. I haven't told anyone this story, but this is my story. Okay. So I got a friend of mine who was in Chicago last year in the off season, in the summer. I forget, it might have been June. I don't know exactly when it was. It was in the off season. And he was in a club in Chicago. And he looks over and it's Jimmy and his entourage. And he goes over to Jimmy. He says, man, I'm a big Niner fan. And they hit it off. Apparently, this is what my friend said. They were talking all night and, having a good time. And then my friend says, hey, man, you know who I'm really good friends with? Grant Cohn. And Jimmy's face turned. That was the end of the night. They stopped talking. His entourage was like, yo, man, we don't mess with that dude. So, look, the point of the story is no one knows what Jimmy does during the offseason, but my friend met up with him, ran into him at a club in Chicago one time. So maybe that's what he does. I don't know. Didn't he come in with a little bit of pudge? Did he come to OTAs a little bit of pudge a couple years ago? I was like, what's that about? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I never know. So hopefully, I just think this is going to come to a head at some point where they're going to eventually have to cut him, because I understand Jack's being optimistic and thinking the Panthers are going to may give something for Jimmy. If that's the case, then great. I hope they're wrong, but I just have never seen anybody want or present a asset in exchange for Jimmy during his time with the 49ers.
Yeah.
So, all right. That's all I had to say.
Thank you, Grant. Good call, man. Thanks. Good to see you.
You too.
Right. See you, man. Luis, you ready? See you running around.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, Grant? Good morning. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, man. So I know everyone's talking about this whole Jimmy situation, man. I actually want to go off topic. I don't know if people are actually talking about Javon Kinlaw's injury. You know, I think that's going to be a big piece to our defense. I don't know if that's getting a lot of recognition right now, but I think that is something that we should be talking about. What if he can't get healthy? Then that's just one more piece of our depth that we lost.
Yeah. Very
To be honest,
important. I mean, they just lost Arden Key, and he was one of their top 4 guys on third down as a pass rusher. So who's going to replace him? I'm sure they would love it to be their former first-round pick, but I don't think it will be. I mean,
I think it'll be Kerry Hyder. But I don't know. I just don't think we have some solid depth, but I think we should focus on our defensive line and our O line. Those are the top priorities, I believe, as a fan.
O-line for sure.
Yeah.
O-line for sure. Also, I would like them to get a deep threat wide receiver because that would actually show a commitment to Trey Lance. As long as Jimmy Garoppolo is on the team and they keep signing wide receivers who average 6 yards a catch and are total gadget guys who double as running backs, I'm not sold that the Niners are sold on Trey Lance. Get someone who catches the ball 50 yards down the field because that's not for Jimmy. That's for Trey. I'd like to see them get someone like that. They haven't had someone like that in a long time.
Yeah, they really haven't. I think Ray McLeod would be a nice pickup, but I don't know. I just think I'm just kind of have some questions on our O-line and our defensive line for Javon Kinlaw. I just don't think he's going to be able to come back with that injury.
Yeah. They said that they look out their window every day and see him. He's looking good. They said the same thing about D Ford in their window last year. I don't trust their window. They should get a better window or different office, a different vantage point. I don't believe it with Javon Kinlaw.
They should. So my question for you, Grant, is what do you think? How do you think it's going to play out? Do you think Jimmy might be the starter? Because I don't see the Niners getting rid of him right now because he obviously did that injury, him and his agent. I think they did it on purpose. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah. Here's what I think is going to happen. I meant to say this in the last thing, but my thing started cutting off. The Niners probably want to cut him right before the season starts just to get even. They feel like they could have traded him, but Jimmy pulled the rug out from under him by having this surgery way late. So they're going to say, all right, we're going to cut you right before the season starts so you get no money. No money from us. And there's going to be no team that's going to have a starting job open for you. So you're not going to make any money this year. Joke's on you. I think that's what they're going to try to do. Also, what they want to do is trade Jimmy during camp to a team who has a quarterback get injured, right? Like, oh, someone got hurt. Now you're desperate. If any quarterback is likely to get hurt in training camp, it's freaking Jimmy. And if Jimmy gets hurt in training camp, then they can't cut him. That $27 million becomes guaranteed, and they played themselves. He should never, ever, ever step on a practice field with them ever again. But the Niners could mess this up.
Yeah. I did have a couple more questions for you. Which teams do you think will be a trade for him, or what teams do you think that would be a better skill set for Jimmy?
Teams in the Canadian Football League. Jimmy, honestly, I'm curious about where Jimmy's going to go next. He's at the point where he can't protect himself on the field. He's not getting better. I think not many teams look at him as a starting caliber quarterback. He might have to prove himself as a backup, and he has $110 million, and he's in his 30s. Does he want to do that? Does he even like football that much? He doesn't even talk to the coach in the offseason. So I think he's really going to have to push. I think Cam Newton's in the same spot. People are like, dude, I don't know if you're a starter anymore, but if you really want to grind and be a backup, by all means. And he's like, I don't have to do that. I have a ton of money. I'm Cam Newton. I don't want to be a backup. Maybe Jimmy's going to go down the same road.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jimmy could be at the end of the line now.
You do have a good point though. I think it would have been a better position if Jimmy would own up to his mistakes and like let's just say you're starting a new job, right? And you're trying to do your best to do the job, and you always ask for feedback. What can I do better? And Jimmy's not that type of person, so we'll see how that goes.
I gotta take some more calls, but you killed it. I like your orange.
Hey man, thank you. Good day.
You too. What's up? It's been a while. I was starting to wonder, like, are you mad at me or what's up?
People ask me, did you had a beef or something over Jimmy? And I'm like, no. I'm just in my future time era.
Okay.
Talking about Jimmy, I would respect the team if they cut him off right now.
Right.
Because I want the team to commit to Trey Lance for good.
I like it. Me too.
And even, I mean, I just want commitment from them. They trade for him. They have to show that he's their guy or not. And they are just like, he's in a limbo instead of Jimmy. Because right now he has this job secure. Like, he's going to be on the team, on paper. And Trey Lance he's not ready.
Trey Lance is the mistress right now. He's the girl on the side.
And
But the guy's like, I'm going to get the divorce. I promise. I'm getting a divorce. It's going to be me and you. But it never happens.
Yeah, he's the side chick. And
he's the side chick.
I want him to be the miss of the house.
Absolutely. Because Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't even want to be here anymore. He wants out too. I think like the Niners are holding him hostage right now.
Both of them have mistresses, but none of them is willing to commit with their miss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I just want them to call him.
And you never know, like, are they just being nice and saying things that the mistress wants to hear, or do they really intend to make the switch at some point? Because you never know. Yes. They say a lot of nice things to the mistress just to get them off your back for 6 months.
Yes, it's like,
not that I'm speaking from experience.
I promise that we sleep in different beds. We're no longer in the same bed.
Yeah, we don't even talk anymore. She doesn't understand me. You're the only person.
Yes. That's the Jimmy situation. I want them. I mean, even though I used to love Jimmy, I mean, once you watch Bridgerton, you move on from Jimmy.
You say once you watch Bridgerton, so who do you like better than Jimmy now?
Benedict Bridgerton.
There you go. Sorry, Jimmy.
Yes,
it's over. It's over.
Yeah, well, he loves me for good. I mean, that British accent, man.
It's true. It's better than the Chicago accent than Jimmy Garoppolo has. Yeah.
Plus, he probably throws the ball better.
Yeah.
I want him to commit to Trey Lance. And talking about free agency, I wasn't expecting so much movements, but I'm not going to be that patient if once the season starts, they don't do movements.
Me neither.
Free agency, it's okay. I don't expect a lot from you on free agency, but once the season starts, I want to see your commitment for Kim Vince Lombardi. If not,
I like it. They traded for Emmanuel Sanders mid-season. Let's do something.
And they win Super Bowl second place, if it becomes later that way, and they did something. And last season they didn't do anything, and they fell short because they lost NFC championship. I always say it in Spanish, so.
Yeah, and then Jed York's over here like, well, we're close to making the Super Bowl, but we were also close to not making the playoffs. So we're just gonna keep doing what we do. All right, Jed, I like that. Although I got to take more calls, but it's a pleasure.
Yeah,
don't be a stranger.
No, never.
I like your shirt too. What is that? Show them. San Francisco.
It's the 49ers. Why?
I think the Niners are going to be playing in Mexico this year. I think.
Seems when they announced that Arizona was getting the local team, they did this thing that you could vote for who you wanted to be here, and the front runner is 49ers. So there is a big chance. I mean,
I might be there then.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
We'll get a margarita. I'll see you. Peace. All right. Official BNA Music 88. Official Grant Cohn Defender on Twitter. What's up, man? I see you.
Hey, man, I got your back, man.
Thank you.
Yo, I'm good, man. Yo, this whole Jimmy thing, everything, what was said by Kyle as far as him, like, ghosting people, even though guys have said before, but it really hit me. Like, Jimmy is Adrian Byrne. As to Tom Brady's, like, Mayweather, where Tom Brady's a perfectionist. And you would think by Jimmy, by, osmosis, or at least, being Tom Brady's understudy, he at least picked up these habits. But no, he wants the lifestyle of a quarterback, but he doesn't want the grind of a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, guys like, to this day, guys like Floyd Mayweather still runs like 10 miles a day and stays in shape. And you compare to Adrian Broner, where he's out here acting a whole fool, but he wants that lifestyle of a boxer.
Right.
Versus Jimmy, he wants that lifestyle of a starting quarterback.
Exactly.
And if you just run through the list of all the cons that he has as far as ghosting teammates, throwing
Yep.
guys under the bus,
Yep.
always injured,
Yep. Never
and
taking
already limited
responsibility for
skill
his own
set.
mistakes. Hey, man, all the stuff that people say about Kaepernick
Hmm?
applies to Jimmy. Oh, he just wants to be famous.
Yes.
Oh, he doesn't work that hard.
Mhm.
That's Jimmy. They
I'm old
swap out
enough to
one celebrity
remember
for
people in
another.
caps. I'm old enough to remember people in caps. And here's the difference. At least Cap liked to work out.
You know, Jimmy comes into OTAs like with like 15, like the freshman 15. Like, don't worry, I'll get rid of it. It's good.
Yes.
Remember that last year?
It's
He was
just
pudgy.
it's we said
Remember that
yes.
last
Oh
year?
yeah,
He
he
was
did
pudgy
show a
when he
few
came
little.
in. Yep. Like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
it's a guitar. I don't run anyway. Okay, yeah. You certainly don't. Did I lose you? Oh, lost him. He'll be back. Best Don Yee could is 7.5 injury setup. Look for thumb surgery after shoulder, headed to avoid being healthy cut. Yeah, man. I'm just saying, if you bring Jimmy Garoppolo to camp, you really think he's not going to get hurt again? You really think Don Yee, they're not going to find a way to get that $27 million out you? You really think Don Yee and Jimmy Garoppolo are just going to allow him to get cut right at the end? You there? All right, I guess he's out. I'm going to jump around a little bit just cause. Karan, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. Can't complain.
Hey,
How are
so
you?
I've got a Jimmy story for you, actually. Detroit Jimmy story that I've never told you, actually. If we're going to go story down, it involves you and Jimmy.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so quickly,
Okay.
so Detroit, as you saw, has no security to like stop you. So you can go right up front to when the players practice. There's no sectioning off, right? Because didn't have the staff. So we got right down there as the 49ers are
Game day?
practice game day,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And so Jimmy's comes out and he's talking to the owner, the owner, not Jed.
Of the
Uh,
Lions?
no,
Or
the Niners.
John York.
Yeah,
Okay.
John York, Dr. York, right? And so they're going around handing pins, right? And so they give my daughter a pin, right?
He's been
And
doing that
so
for like 25 years, man.
correct,
Crazy. Yes.
correct. So and they start talking to my daughter who's decked out in 49er gear, and my daughter goes, my dad talks to Grant about Jimmy all the time, and Jimmy's face. He pretended that he didn't hear it, but he heard it. And my daughter doesn't know anything better. She just watches us on YouTube. And I was like, well, guess I'm not going to be invited to the after party.
Apparently, that's I'm not saying who my friend is, but apparently that's the exact. He was chilling, like, having like a broed out time with Jimmy in a
He
club.
laughed.
And then
He laughed.
just drops my name, and Jimmy's like,
He laughed.
so
I
funny,
was,
man.
I was, again, my daughter's, I was, John was talking to my daughter. My daughter had a blast. I appreciate that. Jimmy came over,
And she didn't
again,
register what she did to Jimmy. She had no idea.
she's 9, right? She was
Right.
so she has no idea.
She's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, let
my
me
dad
see."
talks to Grant about you all the time. And then Grant's like, Jimmy looked, he looked
Nope.
side-eyed, looked at me, and then gone.
I'm out.
Gave a little pat to Dr. York,
Yep.
and then he was gone.
Wow. Great
I
story.
will say, right, two things.
Yes.
One, I think it's very interesting in the fact that what the league thinks of the 49ers players,
Mhm.
not just Jimmy. But to me, this has been eye-opening for me because I feel like the league is telling us what they think of the players the 49ers have. And to me, it kind of shows me that they think it's a system, whether it be on defense or offense. It's the system that is propping these players. It is not the other way around. That's why you see certain players like Tart, who we see day in, day out and say, hey, he's pretty good. He should get scooped up. No one wants to touch him with a 10-foot pole. In other free agents as well that are still saying don't sign lucrative deals, but it's the system, right? And you're seeing places like Miami that are bringing those guys over, but because of the system. It's not
ain't Tua. It ain't because of Tua.
right.
No.
It ain't because of Tua, and it ain't
No.
because of their, traits. It's because they know a certain system. And I think that's very interesting in the fact that we probably should look at the 49er players that they acquire not so much on skill level, but the system they're going to get put into,
Right.
which is a
If you
different
look
way
at
of
Ray
thinking.
McLeod's scouting report on NFL Network, basically what they say is doesn't have a position. Like, oh, perfect for Kyle Shanahan. It's exactly the kind of guy he wants. Yeah.
And then the
Positionless
last
football.
one is,
Yeah.
I know this was a little bit before our time to like really comprehend, but didn't this kind of happen between Steve Young and Joe Montana? I'm not saying that Trey Lance is good Steve Young and Jimmy Garoppolo is Joe Montana, but the same dynamic where you had kind of two quarterbacks there. One kind of had to go, but they were kind of playing, and Young played in playoff games, right? And won regular season games and then got benched. And then Joe Montana went to the Super Bowl and beat the Broncos. So this organization's okay with conflict. They don't mind it at all. They have a history of it. And how do we know that Eddie isn't going to jet over there and be like, I did it. Worked out fine for me. How do you know that's not occurring? Because again, it's the same dynamic. Think about it. What's different? You just take the names out of it. Put the same situation in. It's relatively the same, isn't it?
I mean, if you think that Joe Montana and Jimmy Garoppolo have anything in common.
The situation and that fact that Bill Walsh thought that they would push each other to make them better. And
Yeah,
someone
he had
would
two Hall of
run
Fame
to them.
quarterbacks. I'm not sure what the Niners have. I'm not sure.
But you could see how easily someone can like misconstrue and say
Yeah.
this has happened before. We were better off for it. They held Joe Montana as long as they could, and they ended up with a pretty good haul for him. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I can see the train of thought. You know what I mean? And
This was
knows,
before my
you know?
time. Was Joe Montana ever like a healthy backup for Steve Young, or was he just injured?
I don't.
Like
I believe
did he ever enter a season as a healthy backup? I know he didn't play much in 1992.
he had a back issue, right? And I feel like there were
or elbow issue or whatever. Yeah.
there were times, but I believe there were games where Young got put in and Joe could have played and Young got put in and the other way around.
Yeah.
So it was even more messed up than it is right
Okay.
now. So again, it's happened. It's not like this is the first time this is happening in this organization with the quarterback position.
Yeah, it's true.
I also think Jed is like PTSD. He does not want 5-10, 4-12. You guys, I love California, but you guys are the most fair weather fans. That team, plummets and no one's at that stadium. It's not like New York. Come rain, water, we're always there. There's a 30-year waiting list to get on season ticket holders. 'Tis not the case in California. You have to have a winning product for people to show up. And I think from a business standpoint, Jet isn't looking for championship or bust. I think Jet has now changed his train of thought and just sustained success. That's what he's looking for. And whatever gives him that, he's going to go for it.
Success is making the playoffs and filling the stadium. That's it.
That's it.
That's pretty
but that's where we are now. Hey, I'm not saying that it's right or different. Hey, you can have both, right? You can have boom bust and fill a stadium, but here's the other thing, guys. It's California. He's got a track record to look at. He's seen other places outside of the Lakers. What other franchise does well seeding wise if they suck in the record wise? Even LA, like the Rams, and if they were bad.
You know who? You know what the answer was? The Warriors before they moved to San Francisco. The Warriors. That was the answer. Oakland filled that freaking stadium, that freaking arena for decades.
It wasn't about so much about basketball as much as something to do about someplace to do in Oakland as well. But yeah, I get that.
I get about this city.
I get it.
Hey, I got to take more calls, but thank you for telling that story. That was great.
Side-eye and everything. Yeah, exactly. Bye.
See you, man. Man, Jimmy's going to have to deal with that for a long time. Like, yo.
Grant, I'm back.
Oh, what it do?
No, my entrance on, like we're back, type of thing, like
absolutely.
Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed to hear comments from Mr. Lynch that we wouldn't be cutting this guy because I thought, we need the cap space, man. Like we gotta sign some players. Our offensive line is looking a little sketch there. I mean, we got Trent Williams, but I mean, can we just like clone Trent Williams like across the line, like and place him at like every position? Because
you always have a new last week it was 5 sumo wrestlers. Now it's 5 Trent Williams. I think that's a better, but you'd have to wait for him to like get born and then go through life. And you couldn't guarantee it would take a while.
I understand. It's a complicated process.
It is. It is.
So like, I want to like sign some players. We need some players.
Okay.
So let's like sign some players on this team. I got like a couple players like we could like I'm gonna throw out there and we could sign. Like let's sign Zadarius Smith. I like Zadarius Smith.
I think I signed already.
Wait, he got signed?
I think he got signed already. Did he
No
not?
way. He got signed?
Yeah, he's in the Vikings now.
No way he got
Unfortunately.
signed, bro. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, we missed him.
And Arden Key just went to the Jaguars too. I just saw.
Now no more Arden Key.
Bro, he was like one
All
of my
because of
favorite
Jimmy
players.
Garoppolo.
All because of Jimmy?
Yeah.
Bro, and I've been trying to still sell this bobblehead. Like, I even put this up for free on like Facebook Marketplace. Bro, some dude from like Paraguay like offered it, but like I was gonna have to pay for shipping. Like, bro,
It was gonna cost you money. It was gonna cost you money to unload it. Dude, we can't
nobody
do that.
wants this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. No one wants your bobblehead. No one wants the real Jimmy Garoppolo either. That's too bad.
Well, let's compromise then. Let's at least like re-sign Raheem Mostert. Like, let's get Mostert back.
Yeah, he's on the Dolphins now. Lake and Tomlinson, they could get him. No, he's on the Jets.
K1?
Oh, he's on the Broncos.
What happened to our team, man? DJ
It's
Jones.
cool. You don't need 5 starting veterans. You just need a really expensive backup quarterback, is what I learned this week.
Oh yeah, and
more
let's bring
important.
D Ford back too. I love D Ford. I love me some D Ford, huh?
No, he's gonna probably retire.
100%.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not
I
gonna work
just
for D.
kind of came on here to like give Niners fans some insurance. Like sometimes like it's hard to be a Niner fan. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like I lose my mind a little bit. Like why didn't we get Zadarius Smith? You know, we're stuck with Jimmy
Right.
still. But then I
Yeah.
wake up and I see this picture every day.
Boom.
And I remember
Boom.
this is why I'm a Niner fan right here
That's right.
because of this guy, Matt
That's right.
Mayoko. Matt
That's right.
Mayoko is a legend. Every day I wake up, hear his reports, and it makes me think this is why I'm a Niner fan because Matt Mayoko is a legend.
That's right.
Bro, who cares about meeting Jimmy Garoppolo? I want to meet Matt Mayoko, man. Like, come on.
I know Matt Mayoko.
You know Matt?
I know Matt Mayoko.
No way.
Matt Mayoko likes me. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Uh-huh. You can shake my hand one day, and then that'll be a hand that's shaking Matt Mayoko's hand. So that'll be good for you.
I like you so much better than Jimmy Garoppolo, Grant. Oh my God.
Great call, man. I'm gonna tell Matt
Mayoko.
Mayoko how you feel about him. All right.
I love Matt Mayoko. Thank you, Grant. I love you.
See, if you ever need someone to make you feel good about being a Niner fan, Matt Mayoko's got you. What's up, voice ad agency?
Man, Grant, what the hell is going on, man?
I don't know, man. Niner fans are starting to lose their mind because the Niners are just doing nothing.
Bruh, I don't get how every damn quarterback in the league can move but ours.
I know. I think what happened is that the Niners felt that Jimmy Garoppolo tried to sabotage things with that surgery, and now they're getting even. And getting even is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. It hurts them too. We're not going to use our cap space. We don't even care about cap space. We don't even care about 2022. All we care about is ruining Jimmy Garoppolo's career. Let's do it. Let's make sure he gets no money this year. That's where they're at. That's what I think.
You know, the thing, Grant, that I'm looking at, say like we compare like Patriots and how Kyle Shanahan is a big Belichick fan and all of that. I just look at how many damn players are we going to have that are going to be the highest paid, especially now after Debo and Nick Bosa get their contract. How many players
7?
are we going to?
7? Like really? Trent Williams, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Debo, at least 5.
Wait, isn't our kicker Gold? Like, wasn't he one of the high?
Yes. Yeah. Use check, highest paid fullback.
Yeah. Warner, of course. Did you already say him?
Yep. Warner.
Okay.
Kittle. Yep.
So, I mean, even if we get rid of Garoppolo, we still have trouble with the cap space just on re-signing guys.
It's true.
And I think that's the issue as far as because we always wait till they get out of their contract and we're always competing instead of just seeing the potential beforehand and early extending them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The Niners have, and this was last year too, right? They didn't really do anything in free agency. They signed Ebukam because they had to spend all their money on, or decided to spend all their money on Trent Williams and who was the other extension? Fred Warner. That was their
Yeah.
money. Same thing this year. Bosa, and these are going to be even more expensive. So
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Especially now that Debo's looking at what was it, Tyreek Hill, and who was the other one that got extended before him? Green Bay dude.
Devontae Adams, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a predicament, man. Good. Thanks for calling in.
Appreciate you, Grant.
Have a good one. Ben Myerson, what's up?
I'm doing well, Grant. I did watch that Kyle Shanahan. I don't want to say it was a press conference. It was more just people with cameras in his face yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about a few things I thought were really interesting from that. For one, man, he loves Trey Lance, doesn't he? Like, I think it's pretty clear and obvious who Kyle Shanahan favors, who picked out Trey Lance, and why he did it. And I
I talk to Trey every day. Jimmy, nah, he doesn't return my calls. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, and the funny part about that, Grant, is someone specifically asked him if he does talk to Jimmy. And with the Trey thing, when he mentioned that he talks to him, that was completely unprompted. He
Yes.
did not get asked that question. He's like, oh, yeah, Trey Lance, we talk every single day. He's down in Orange County right now. He's working out with Ayuk last week. He's keeping tabs on Trey Lance. So I think when you look at all the language Kyle Shanahan is using around Trey Lance right now, it's pretty clear and obvious who he favors and why he probably wanted to start Trey even last year. But the one comment I really focused on, I thought was one of the more revealing ones, was how he talked about Aaron Banks. I don't know if you caught that bit of what he said, but basically he mentioned that 3-5 point in the season right after week 8, when all of us were looking at the team like, hey, are you guys going to start Trey Lance? Are you going to start Aaron Banks? What about Ambry Thomas? And Kyle was pretty honest yesterday, and he said we really considered putting in Banks, and that was a big part of their consideration. Now, I don't know how much I believe him on that, Grant, because like we've seen with Kyle before, he can fib a lot, right? But yeah. I think the important takeaway is that there was certainly a world of difference from when the team was trending downwards to the latter part of the season, and that they were actually considering putting in those rookies. And I think we all kind of had this idea all along that, are they redshirting a lot of these guys? They want to keep a lot of these guys for next year, give veterans the opportunity, quote unquote, like a last dance sort of thing, going all out, revenge tour 2.0, like we've all talked about. I think it's pretty obvious the team had that same idea that we thought they were going to have, which is they wanted to build last year's draft for this year and for the future. And that was their plan all along.
What's crazy to me is so last year they were planning for the future. And then this year, they're also planning for the future. Everyone's like, free agency this year? No, next year. So really, they've been on, when they drafted Trey Lance, what they were doing was punting 2 seasons. Not tanking 2 seasons, but punting 2 seasons. The difference is, hey, we'll compete. You know what I'm saying? We'll continue to do business as usual, but we're not going to make any special moves to go over the top the way they did in 2019. 3 moves they did in 2019. None of them. Yeah.
Well, and like we've seen, like you just said, they have gone all in. We've seen them do it before. They did it. Yeah, exactly. They traded a 2nd-round pick for D Ford and extended him. Quan Alexander.
Then traded for Emmanuel Sanders when they were 7-0.
Exactly. They actually went all in. So there was definitely a willingness on their part to
if they think that they have a window, they'll go for it. And they're telling us that they we made it this far, but we easily could have not even made the playoffs. We're just going to be slow and sensitive. We may not make the playoffs next year. That's kind of their attitude right now. But in 2023 or maybe 2024, we're going to be really good.
That's just a ridiculous plan, because
it's Jet's fault. Every other owner has put some pressure on their coaches, and Kyle's like, I'm signed through 2026. So by 2025, I promise, right when it's time to get my next extension, we're going to be loaded. But not until then.
And Jed, I don't know if you saw, but he had some comments that are going around on Twitter right now where he compared the situation they're in now to the situation his uncle was in with Joe, and yeah, he straight up was like, "Hey, um, Steve sat behind Joe. Steve was a Hall of Famer, doing this whole thing like, hey, if Steve could do it, why can't?"
Oh, wow. Well, dude, what they're essentially going to do if they don't cut Jimmy Garoppolo is pay $27 million for another year of him starting or him being a backup so they can get a comp pick. $27 million for like the 104th pick in the draft for the next Ambry Thomas. $27 million. Go get him. Go get him.
But that's like that's like
Go
the
ahead.
crazy mindset though, Grant. Like they drafted Trey Lance, and I just wanted to end like on this point overall. I know I've said it so many times, man, but it's really like legitimately crazy to me that the whole point of drafting Trey Lance is to save money in the present so that you can build a contender around him. If you look at the way teams build contenders now, it's not by having a bridge quarterback, waiting until the rookie quarterback is good enough to extend him and then building around him. That doesn't work because you're paying the guy $40 million if he's that good. But the whole point of what teams are doing now is getting that X factor at the quarterback, because you're paying Trey Lance right now $8 million a year. It is the ultimate X factor. And instead of being like, hey, we're going to exploit this, we're going to use this to our advantage, Jed's like, hey, man, we got home games in the playoffs. We're selling, we're selling out home games more. Look at us versus a few years ago. We're selling out games. I'm making money. Fans aren't pissed at me anymore. It's going well.
He's acting like they're recreating what the Patriots did with Brady and Garoppolo. Garoppolo was on the bench for 3.5 years. The difference is Garoppolo was a second-round pick. So there was no, they didn't spend 3 years worth of first-round picks to say he is the future. They drafted lots of quarterbacks in New England. They drafted Ryan Mallett. He was just the latest guy they tried. They had him on the bench for a long time. Plus, they had Tom freaking Brady, the greatest quarterback of his era, maybe ever. So, it was fair to sit a late second-round pick behind Brady for a while. This is a whole different thing. Jimmy isn't Brady. Trey's supposed to be the future and the present. Enough of this. Ben, good call.
All right. Peace out, Grant. Have a good day, man.
Peace. Let me get AK-49. He's been waiting hella long, man. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm
Good
doing.
to see you, dude. What's up?
Sorry, I'm also working at the same time while talking to you.
Oh, okay.
So, remember our conversation a few weeks back when I said that guys like Mariota, Dalton, Winston, Trubisky would all get signed before Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened. All of them got signed before Jimmy.
I mean, even Dalton got signed, right?
Man,
he's on the Saints. If that's the kind of backup you want, you don't need to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners are going to have a $27 million backup while the Saints have Andy Dalton, who's the same thing for way cheaper. Same thing.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Honestly, it's the fact that they're willing to keep Jimmy so long. He may end up being the highest ever paid backup at $27 million.
Yeah. Yeah. All because Jed York and his parents love to make dreams come true.
Man, if you think that Jimmy's even going to fetch a 7th-round pick in 2024, you must be dreaming. And also, remember when Lynch said he got offers of 2 second-rounders for Jimmy? Yeah. You remember saying that? It probably was true. It probably was true that Lynch did get a 2nd-round offer, but under the condition that we had to eat at least half the salary.
He apparently had a 2nd-round offer for Jimmy last year, and he thought that Jimmy playing another season would make that offer go up, but it didn't. He got hurt again.
Yeah, and he was who he was.
He was who he was.
Yeah, just throw over the, all he could do is throw over the middle and then not even be passionate about the sport. And I believe what Kyle said about how he's been speaking more with Trey and barely to Jimmy. And I believe it was like that last season too. I don't know if you noticed about Trey, but he sounds a lot like Kyle when you hear him talking. Like, for example, I saw a couple of Trey's press conferences and he'd always start very similar mannerisms to Kyle. Watch again.
Speech patterns. Yeah. Interesting.
You could tell Trey's been spending a lot of time around him.
Absolutely. And Trey seems like the kind of guy who is like Kyle. Like, they're grinders. They love the sport. They want to talk about it. They want to think about it most of the day. Jimmy, I don't think he's like that at all. I think he feels like I'm a natural. I've gotten $110 million doing what I do. Why would anyone ask me to do it differently? I'm tired of that's not the kind. And I'm with Kyle on that. Like, dude, I need someone who wants to work. Do you want to work? Trey wants to work. And I think that's the issue. Like, they love Trey. They love the idea of Trey. He's a great guy. He works hard. They still don't know. You know what I mean? There's still an unknown there. Can you convert third downs? Can you read the field? Are you accurate? They love him. They don't particularly like Jimmy Garoppolo. Kyle doesn't particularly like Jimmy. He loves Trey Lance, but that's different than actually trusting him. You know what I mean?
All Trey has to do is
her on the side for a lot of reasons, but are you willing to make her the main? Are you sure? You know what I'm saying?
All Trey's got to do is be better than Jimmy. Do you think he can at least
being better than Jimmy
touchdowns and just
being better than Jimmy?
I agree.
Being better than Jimmy.
That ain't asking for too much, basically. If he could just be better than Jimmy, I think we can go all the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying if the Niners look in 2020 they had a disaster season. People all blame it on Nick Mullins, but the issue was the offensive line. Jimmy got hurt right away. Then Mullins eventually got hurt too. No quarterback was going to succeed behind that offensive line except maybe Tom Brady. And what have they done this year? You know, if Alex Mack comes back, good. But Tomlinson's gone. McGlinchey isn't even good if he plays. I mean, I'm concerned about the offensive line. They might go through quarterbacks again like it's 2020. Anyway, that's my concern, the offensive line. I got to take more calls, though, man. Thanks for calling in.
Always a pleasure.
See you. Ippy, man, where you calling from?
Hawaii, Grant.
Nice. Good to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hey, good to talk to you. I watch your show all the time, but I never call in. But I found myself agreeing with somebody that I don't ever usually agree with, Chris Sims.
Okay.
And he's the only one. I mean, so his take, and I believe this. You know, I think a lot of people are reading into it a lot. We have a NFL Hall of Famer as our GM, not a businessman. I don't think people kind of understand that. You know, a businessman operates different than a Hall of Fame football player. A lot more. There's a lot more emotion, I feel like, when John Lynch makes moves. Anyway, the Niners do this all the time, right? I mean, if they say that Trey's their starter, they're going to have a Baker Mayfield situation. I mean, it sucks, and the fans get upset because we want to know, we want to hear that Trey's a starter, but if they say Trey's a starter, then they're in a Baker Mayfield situation. No team's going to trade if they know that we're going to cut Jimmy. I mean, it's kind of a moot point, but I mean, I don't know.
My personal feeling is that the Niners aren't the window to trade. It's over. There's no trade happening for Jimmy Garoppolo. They missed it. It's over. They're lying. They're like, it's just because of his shoulder. It's just because of his shoulder. No, it's because he's a fugazi. He's cubic zirconia. You're trying to bring him to every jeweler in town. Like, man, I got this. Check out this diamond I got. And they're like, that is fake. They're like, what? What do you mean? I spent $250,000 on it. They're like, well, you should get your money back because that is fake. And they're going like,
even my Garoppolo jersey broke. Even my Garoppolo jersey, it's the only jersey that kind of fell apart. It's the only Fugazi jersey I have too. It's crazy.
Fugazi.
I don't.
Sorry.
No. Well, hopefully it works. I really hope. I mean, we'll see if. I know the window's kind of closed, but at this point, you know, we sound like. I mean, we seem like the Browns. Like the teams know we're not going to play Jimmy. I mean, I hope we don't play Jimmy, but I think they know we're not going. I think they're just going to wait until he kind of.
I mean, they would love the Niners to play Jimmy, right? They're like, play Jimmy.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah. And also, I'm sorry, real quick. Also, to with how much the NFL is also with all these contracts they're getting from Amazon and all of this. I think a lot of it's relative. I mean, yes, it's expensive, but I mean the salaries are going up. Everything's going up. Money is coming in like it's never been coming into the NFL. So even though things are expensive, I mean, more money is going to be coming to all these guys. It's just it's unfathomable how much money is involved right now. So
yeah, man, these football players was crazy. Like what's happening in football is like all the players know their risks, their families, their wives know about CTE, and then like these guys, a lot of like the top 15%, the best players in the league are going to have $50-100 million by the time they're 26, 27. Like how many guys of these guys are going to play till they're 35? Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should treat it like the dope game. You know what I mean? Like get in, stack a bank, get the hell out. Get out. You don't want to stay in the game too long because
investments. Yep.
gangsters don't live that long, is what I heard.
No.
Anyway,
No.
Ippy, good call, man. Take
Thanks,
care.
Sid. I appreciate it.
Peace,
Aloha.
man. All right. Jaden, what's up?
What's up, Grant?
Oh, what's up?
All right. Jimmy pop quiz, okay?
Okay.
I want you to tell me how many injuries Jimmy Garoppolo has in his career, in the NFL. We're not talking about college, and what they all were.
Okay, let me try. He separated his shoulder in New England.
Okay.
He blew out his ACL on the Niners.
Yep.
He had a high ankle sprain on the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
He injured his calf on the Niners. That's 4.
Yep.
He messed up his thumb on the Niners. That's 5.
Yep.
He messed up his shoulder on the Niners. That's 6. So I can think of 6.
Okay. You're spot on. So
okay.
I had a conversation with I don't really know who, but some guy on Twitter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him were discussing Jimmy Garoppolo highlights from whenever he was on the Patriots till now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the Patriots highlights, and of course he looks better. He's mobile and stuff, but all his passes are the same.
Yeah.
Down the middle, to the tight end, or to the running back. And whenever he does go downfield, guess who's making the play? The wide receiver, not Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
or he just misses the guy altogether. Ask Kyle Juszczyk in Tennessee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one thing that also really irritated me is I went back and watched his film from 2017. He actually was using Kyle Juszczyk.
Yes.
What happened to that?
Good question. Good question. I don't know.
He's the threat. What are you doing? He's like a second George Kittle. What are you doing?
To me, Jimmy Garoppolo hit the best he ever played by far was 2017. He actually looked good that year, and that was when he was getting that money. And ever since then, he's been like, you know what? I'm not going to call my coach for 6 months of the year. Like, wow, that's you now. Okay. All right.
So basically I got a proposal. There was never a trade market for Jimmy ever. All the teams were like, oh, shoulder injury in New England, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Made him scared a little bit. Oh, he tore his ACL?
Real quick, I wouldn't be surprised if a team like Pittsburgh made the Niners an embarrassing offer. Like, yeah, oh, Jimmy, we'll give you a 6th-round pick in 2 years for him. How about that? And then I was like, what? I could see a team like being interested on that level. Like, look, we're going to have to work out his contract. He's hurt. He's old. We'll give you something like a 7th. And then I was like, you can't do that. Like,
he's not even worth the 7th. He's worth an undrafted free agent.
Yes, agree.
Like, okay, so then he tore his ACL, and then they were like, well, he's not mobile no more, so that cuts down like half of his value, right? And then he has more leg injuries. That makes him even more not mobile.
And ever since he missed Emmanuel Sanders deep in the Super Bowl, he has like a phobia of throwing down the field, so that's even more limitation. Yeah, check down. He doesn't even look to Brandon Ayuk when he's open down. One of my favorite things this year, I would do a film breakdown with Jackhammer every Tuesday, and just the game of where's Brandon Ayuk? Like, where's Waldo? Where's Brandon Ayuk? There he is, open down the field. Every play.
I was actually going to ask you about the Jackhammer and you doing film review. Can you guys be like, because I can't see, so I need you guys to be a little bit more descriptive.
Yes.
Like, let me know which way the running back is going, which side of the ball is going.
I can absolutely do that. I was an English major at UCLA. I'm good at describing. I can do that for you. I promise.
All right, bet.
Yes.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Thank you, Grant.
I'll see you next time. El Jefe, what's up? You're muted. You just got to press the little mic button on your thing, and then we're good. There you go.
Can you hear me now? My bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. How you doing?
What's going on, man? So my question was, how you feel about the offensive line?
I don't feel good about it at all, man. How you feel about it?
I mean, I feel like wasn't Jalen Moore a guard before? Wasn't he a guard in college? Didn't we move him?
Who?
Moore. Was he a guard?
No, he was a tackle they wanted to convert to guard, I believe. Yep. Here's the way I look at it.
Like they
have Trent Williams. Trent Williams is great. but they also had Trent Williams in 2020 when their offensive line was terrible. So just having one great left tackle is a great start. But if Mike McGlinchey's trash, if the center is trash, like if Alex Mack is there, that's a very good thing. He's stable. But if he's not, then you're back at what you had in 2020. You have the same offensive line.
He's expected to come back, right? He's expected to play again.
He's expected to play, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I mean, okay, so McGlinchey, have we heard anything?
No, that he's working hard. He's attacking his rehab, and they're going to give him all the time in the world to not only be healthy but pain-free, which to me says training camp, week 1, maybe not at all this year. I mean, the quad tore away from his bone. I think that ended Tony Parker's career on the Spurs. So, and he wasn't even that good beforehand. He was okay. So I don't know. I'm concerned about the offensive line.
So it sounds like we need to do that.
Everyone's going to be saying, like, no matter what happens, it's Trey's fault. If they don't make the playoffs, it's Trey's fault. Well, what if it's the offensive line's fault? Like 2 years ago.
Yeah. They can't block. You can't get the ball off.
Reggie McKenzie used to say, he was the Raiders general manager. The big people let the little people play football.
Yeah.
Little people can't play football unless the big people make it happen. And that's true.
I mean, well, how do you think Kyle will adjust to that, though? Because you think he'll adjust well to just like, because that means Trey's going to have to do his own thing. If the line can't block, Trey just has to do his own thing.
I think the way Kyle looks at it is like, as long as I'm solid at tackle, as long as I have 2 good tackles and a solid center, I don't care about my guards. And maybe there's something to that. But I don't like Mike McGlinchey. I don't know who his backup is. And as far as Alex Mack coming back, they haven't even confirmed it. They're like, we expect him to. You expect him to? Did he say it? So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, but still, like, he's almost 37. At a certain point, it's going to be over for him. So they need to draft a center.
Yeah.
Probably with a top 100 pick this year.
Makes sense. I agree.
I would think so. Yeah.
All right,
man. Peace. All right, last call. Jeff. Where you at? Jeff? Jeffrey, are you there? Do you want to talk about the 49ers today? Nope, he's out. All right. That's it. I'll be back in 4 hours with Larry Krueger, 3 o'clock Pacific time. Larry Krueger, Cohn and Krueger. And then 6 o'clock, Niners After Dark, where I curse a little bit with Jesse Naylor. Jeff, you there? Going once? He's gone. Jeff, you there? Nope. Jeff? Nope. Jeff? Jonathan says 20 TDs, 15 turnovers from Jimmy G last season, and the Niners still made the NFC Championship. Jimmy G has no value. Can't wait for Lance. Oh, yeah, because he turned the ball. He fumbled, too. That's true. All right, yo, we're out. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.